There is one thing that if you did it, you wouldn't need to really take any more Spanish lessons or language lessons, whatever your language was. You wouldn't need to watch any more videos on YouTube. And this is something that most language teachers probably wouldn't want you to know. The thing is that a lot of people, even when they find it out, they don't put it to use. And it's a shame because it's such a powerful thing. I'm going to tell you what it is. Just think about all the problems that you have with Spanish, with the difference between the imperfect and the preterite. Ser and estar. When should you use por and para? Or certain prepositions after a verb, or when to use the subjunctive or the indicative. All these things. And then not to mention the most simple, the masculine and feminine and singular and plural, conjugating the verbs correctly. You have so many things going on, right? And you say, how in the world do Latinos or Spanish speakers, how do they manage all this stuff? You say, well, they're native speakers. But still, sometimes you think, how in the world do they manage the multitude of choices, it seems? And I'm going to tell you in a second the secret how you can become just like a Latino and you'll be able to manage all of those. It's what helped me to become fluent. And if you did it, I'm telling you, you could almost stop paying attention to all of the other teaching online and on the internet in YouTube videos because you would know all of those things. So what is it? It is as simple as reading out loud every day for 30 minutes. But the question is, would you do it? Will you do it? I've even seen comments of people when I say it, they say, oh, who has time to do that? Who has time to read out loud? How much time did you take to learn how to speak your native language fluently? Thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. So what's 30 minutes a day of reading out loud in Spanish for 11 months? That's what I did. I did it every day. I didn't miss a day, and I did it for 11 months, and it completely changed the way I spoke Spanish. I stopped thinking about when I should use por and para. When I was speaking, I just made the right choice. Ask a Latino, when do you use por and para? And they'll just say, because it sounds right. They're not going to give you the whole grammar lesson or the Spanish teacher explanation of when they use por and para. They're just going to say, I just know because after I say gracias, I say por. Gracias por ayudarme. They're just always going to, they know it because it sounds right. Wouldn't you like to just speak Spanish that way? Why do you make your choices in your language? A lot of you in English. Why do you know how to use phrasal verbs? A lot of you probably don't know what those are, but you use phrasal verbs in English like pick me up. You don't say pick up me. Why do you put the me in the middle of it? Pick me up. Why don't you say pick up me? You just know because it sounds right. Someone learning English has to learn how to do that. Read out loud for 30 minutes a day for the next 11 months. You could do it for a year. I stopped after 11 months because after 11 months, I felt like, wow, now when I speak Spanish, it's all just coming out right. I'm not thinking about masculine or feminine anymore. I'm not thinking about indicative or subjunctive. I'm just making the right decisions, and it just feels right. Now, I had studied it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't study and that you shouldn't practice and you shouldn't continue to learn things and build your vocabulary, but reading out loud every day, it will kind of kill all those birds with one stone. So give it a try. Just do it for 1 month. See what happens after 1 month and see how much it affects your Spanish. That's what happened to me. I started, and at the end of 1 month, I already started to feel a huge difference in the way I was speaking Spanish. And so I was hooked, and I continued doing it for the next 10 months, a total of 11 months. And at the end, I just started to feel like, wow, I wish I had known that way back when I was a beginner or an intermediate student. I could have put that into practice, and it would have just sped up the whole process. If you're interested in improving your B and V sounds, watch this next video. Now remember something. Millions of people speak Spanish fluently, and you will too.